Hey guys, welcome to LALoveCreative, and today we're talking about my experience shooting with Canon Raw Lite on the Canon C70 and why I love it so much. Now, if you've been watching this channel, you know I love the Canon C70. It's my main workhorse of a camera. I shoot it on documentaries, fashion shoot, commercial work. I even shoot weddings on this camera. I love this camera. It's a beautiful image. One of the things that was holding it back on the Canon C70 compared to a camera like the Canon C200, the Canon R5, was its ability to shoot RAW. The Canon C70 now shoots 12-bit RAW, 4K RAW. I love it. The image quality already on the camera was great. Now we have RAW 12-bit recording, and I'm really excited to use it on future projects. Now, why shoot RAW? When you're shooting RAW from a photography standpoint is better because you're pretty much getting the full readout of the sensor. You're getting the full quality that camera can pretty much process and do. When shooting RAW, you can affect the white balance. You have a little bit more dynamic range. You have a better saturated, more vibrant color that's coming from those images. Yes, you get more noise when you're shooting RAW, but at the same time, that's because you're getting a full readout of the sensor and you're basically not getting any of the other things that the camera is doing on its own to process the image, like noise reduction and sharpening and all of that. Now, I was shooting a model, her name is Kitty, great model, and we were doing a little fashion shoot, and this was a great time to see how this camera can perform with its new RAW codec. When I was looking at these images after I shot them, I was blown away by the color. The vibrant color, 12-bit color is just amazing. It just really gives you a little bit more of a punch when it comes to the color. There's a little bit more of a sharpness when you shoot RAW. One of the things I did notice with the Canon C70 Raw Lite was the LT version and the ST version were pretty much the same as far as visual quality. Now, a couple things to consider when you're shooting RAW is file size. Now, the Canon Raw Lite is a Lite. It's not actual Canon Raw. If you were shooting actual like Canon Raw, it would be huge file sizes and you probably would be fed up with memory cards and hard drives. But this is a more compressed version of RAW. However, when it comes to file sizes, the Raw Lite LT is still like double the file sizes of the XF AVC codec on the Canon C70. So just know that. So when you're shooting RAW, you might not want to shoot this on, every project. If you have the storage, then cool. But at the same time, I am looking at RAW as a extra bump in quality when I'm shooting something that doesn't have to be, super long form, commercial, BTS shots that are, quick shots. Or if I'm shooting a high-end commercial, I don't mind the data storage and I'll just shoot RAW on everything and deal with the consequences later. Another consideration when you're shooting RAW is there's no stabilization when you're shooting RAW because I have no idea why, but when you try to use stabilization with the RAW codec, it doesn't even turn on. So just keep that in mind. Another thing when it comes to shooting RAW is it only shoots in 60 frames per second. So nothing higher when it comes to slow motion, stuff like that. You're still not gonna be able to do like 120 frames per second, 4K RAW. So you can't do that. But for me, I shoot mostly things in either 60 frames per second or 24. So having the RAW codec is totally fine for me. When I was shooting these images, I was shooting outside and just really messing around with natural light and just trying to get different tones and different qualities of light. And I love the fact that RAW just really just pops. And the image feels more film-like. It feels like the Canon C200 when I was shooting RAW with that camera and how much I loved RAW on that camera. And I just love the fact that now with Canon Raw Lite, we are getting more of a filmic look and more flexibility in post. Now, this was my first impressions of Canon Raw Lite on my Canon C70. You'll probably see a lot more videos and a lot more content with RAW images in the future on this channel. I'm just really excited that Canon actually listened to the consumers and added this feature, and I can't wait to shoot more stuff with it. Now, that's all I have to say about Canon Raw Lite on the Canon C70. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. See you later.